Check.
pot.
So you'd fancy yourself with a pair of threes here.
Check.
You have to bet that if you've got a pair of threes, Jesse, you know, in my opinion.
Now Atkins going to lose the pot just because of it, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I mean, even if this hadn't have hit Pyra, he could make this bet and win right now.
Yeah,
With virtually any card.
Yeah, of course. You know,
Third.
if you've raised with a pair, it's different if you're calling someone else's bet with a freeze. But if you raise with a pair of threes and you flop that Queen 4 deuce, you've got to be betting. You know.
I think Kevin Atkin had made that raise under the gun solely to steal the blinds, and then he was done with it. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that is exactly what it was,
Pass.
Jesse, isn't it? You know, that is the difference between. I suppose I shouldn't say it, but it's the difference between a good player and
a great player.
and an average player.
Well, I mean, right now it's a difference between Atkin having 60,000 chips and an average stack of 120. So, I mean, it's huge, isn't it?
This game is one for the big boys. If you're not up for the challenge, you're out of here. Join us for more action after the break.
Wanna play poker?
Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com European Open 3. The table has changed and Simon Zach has swam to the top, taking the lead. Will the Piranha fight back? We go over to our commentators.
We're coming up to 70 hands, normally down to 4-handed by now. So with a 5 and 10, everyone's got to still. I don't think we're going to see many flops for a while, Jesse.
We have seen several heats in this tournament that went less than 70 hands.
You see, 5-handed, someone's going to be wanting to raise this up every round. Nice big raise there.
It is, and
Raise 14,000.
this is a hand that Pyra, I imagine,
Pass.
was folding stuff like this earlier. He's changed gears.
Pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Pass.
So, Simon's got quite a big hand here, pair of 10s. We might see some action.
I wonder if Simon's trying to talk himself out of this.
Call.
That's weak, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weak. You know, my opinion, make a stand there with the 10s, but,
I mean, I feel like Pyra's now going to win this pot if the ace flops.
well, you don't know. I don't think you'll be getting Andy off of this hand.
Check.
Up and down straight draw for Andy Pyra.
Yeah.
And he's put a bunch in the center. Was it all of them?
10s can't play now, whatever happens. He cannot play. But he's played the same all through the heat. He's smooth called with all of his pocket pairs. So he's obviously just looking at the 10s as a pair of deuces or threes. But it was another 30,000. I mean, has he made a move on him?
60,000 is what Andy's bet, which is somewhere around half his tank.
Yeah, if he thrown him away.
Pass.
And, is Andy going to a quick fold by Andy? And, that was kind of a tell in itself because Pyra's been showing him every time he had a hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no! Oh gosh, Andy has just told Simon that he didn't have him beat. Basically, I think. Perhaps Zach should listen up to Phil Hellmuth, who of course knows how to spot a bluff.
So, you want to improve your reading abilities? Do you want to know when they're weak? Then you have to trust your instincts. It's all about instincts. There are certain tells that you can use. For example, the steeple. Almost every time someone does the steeple without moving their mouth, they have the hand. If they're trying to do the fake steeple, then in general they'll go, that means they're weak. But the steeple is a strong indicator that they have a strong hand. How do you tell when they're bluffing? Look for things that they wouldn't normally do. Sometimes when the flop comes down, a lot of players tend to lean forward when they have it, and they lean back when they don't have it. But basically, the most important rule for me is I use my own logic and my own instincts, and I study the player. That's it. Study the player. Look at them.
Blinds up.
Table suddenly feels a little smaller, and we'll see if Zach is smarting from those wounds.
Pass. 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 Call.
This is the hump. This is definitely the needle from
Check.
Simon Zach, for sure. And,
He's just made a sign with as if to say to Andy, go on if you want to go all in.
bottom pair for Pyra.
Check.
See, this is the Andy that I always seen playing.
15.
You know, come out and bet these bottom
Pass.
pairs, and even if you've missed.
I think Andy has entered a new gear here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just happened. 5 and 10,000.
That's right.
It's,
Well, he has got 245,000 chips now, so he's probably feeling a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, but I mean, if you know, you could easily see, couldn't you? And I mean, we could play 2 rounds at the table, and Andy could have 300, and this could be over.
Yeah.
This could be the level, couldn't it, where somebody just pulls away from the pack?
Yeah, like we said, we're not going to see a lot of Anne's play, Jesse, because of the 5 of them still in it at 5-10.
Pass. Raise all in.
There you go.
Random
Ace
ace.
5.
Ooh.
Pass. Pass.
See, I'd rather put 30,000 in with a King Jack
42 and
to have a
10.
look than a pair of 10s.
32 more.
What do you fancy Kev Atkins going to do here? He actually has more chips than John Keown by a factor of about 2. King Queen looks a lot prettier than it is sometimes.
Yeah, they do look
Oh.
pretty.
But it'll be a reasonable gamble. And Keown just pretty happy there, I imagine, not to see a bigger ace. That would have been a disaster for him. He's actually favorite here. But it looks like he's expecting a king or queen on the board, does Keown?
Well, that ain't a bad flop for the ace, is it?
A deuce would end it. Make Keown a wheel. Atkin funkin' for a king or queen is
This would
Kev.
probably be a jack or something like that. You know what it's like.
You're right.
Yeah. Ace held up.
Ace holds up.
Whew, he says.
Yeah, I
He
think
don't want too many of them.
slices of pies. Andy Pyra has got everybody else wedged into a corner here. And this level has done the difference.
Yeah, the 5 and 10, Jesse, it's always going to be backed at 5-handed. I don't know how long we got left of this level, but we might see a couple go out here even.
Kev Atkins got the button there, and 31,000. He may have run out of the option of getting his chips in first. He may have to get him in second with this stack. When
Yeah.
he picks up an ace or something.
Yeah, which you don't really want to do, but
Pass. Pass. Pass.
And I'm not sure what he folded there, but as Ken Lang likes to say, I would have been very interested in
Call.
going all in there.
Check.
And
any chance of any diamonds? No.
these two are just determined to play big pots. I actually, it's all been Ian Cox,
Check.
hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Check.
He's forcing Keown into these pots.
Well, they're about level stacks. Yeah.
Check.
Now, how does Ian feel about his 2 6s? Was he checking
20.
to get the money in?
No, I don't think so. He's going to give it a call, yeah.
Call.
Jeez, that's dangerous, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I mean, Keown is drawing to a deuce, a 7, or an 8. And if he bluffs here, oh, well, 2 pair for Ian.
Check.
Check. He's gone all in. What a good bet.
All in.
What a good bet.
That was a great bet. I mean,
Yeah, only gets call if he's beat, obviously. But
Ian's made a complete
Oh.
hash of this, hasn't he?
yeah. So I'm saying all of a sudden he's put himself
Has he
down
showed
to
him? I think he might have showed him.
I think calling the 20,000 was a bad move, Jesse.
Yeah, Keown got one over on Ian Cox there. Bit of a pitfall there for Crapper, but he's used to the ups and downs of gambling. Ian Cox, a professional gambler, played quite a bit online, had a big result there also in the sports betting arena. Bad beats don't bother him.
I've never been a poker player that's gone on till.